Back in my day, we didn't have motivational apps and fancy gadgets to get us pumped up. No, sir. We had to rely on good old-fashioned speeches. And let me tell you, those speeches could move mountains. But nowadays, these young whippersnappers don't know the first thing about motivation. That's why I'm here to school them. I'm going to share with you my top 5 about the greatest speeches in American history and show these kids how it's done. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be schooled, kiddos. Here is top 5 most famous speeches in America. Number 5, Brené Brown's The Power of Vulnerability, which encourages us to be real and authentic in our lives. Encourages Americans to embrace vulnerability and authenticity in their personal and professional lives. It has become a popular motivational speech among those seeking to build stronger relationships, overcome fear and shame, and live more fulfilling lives.
They thought this was fundamental. I personally thought it was betrayal. I could not believe I had pledged allegiance to research, where our job, the definition of research is to control and predict, to study phenomenon for the explicit reason to control and predict. And now my mission to control and predict had turned up the answer that the way to live is with vulnerability and to stop controlling and predicting. This led to a little breakdown, which actually looked more like this.
Back in my day, we didn't have motivational speakers. We had parents. They motivated us to get a job, get married, and give them grandkids before we hit 30. Number 4, The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch. This moving speech, delivered by the late Professor Randy Pausch in 2007, encourages Americans to pursue their dreams and live life to the fullest. Pausch, who was diagnosed with terminal cancer, shares his insights on achieving success and finding happiness in the face of adversity.
Carnegie Mellon University, there's an academic tradition called the last lecture. Hypothetically, if you knew you were going to die and you had one last lecture, what would you say to your students? Well, for me, there's an elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that for me, it wasn't hypothetical. I've been fighting pancreatic cancer. It has now come back after surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. And the doctors tell me there's nothing more to do and I have months to live. These are my most recent CT scans. The pancreatic cancer has spread to my liver. There are approximately a dozen tumors. I don't like this. I have 3 little kids. Let's be clear. This stinks. But I can't do anything about the fact that I'm going to die. I'm pursuing medical treatments, but I pretty much know how this movie's going to end. And I can't control the cards I'm dealt, just how I play the hands. Now, if I'm not morose enough for you, I'm sorry to disappoint. But I don't choose to be an object of pity. And in fact, although I'm going to die soon, I'm actually physically very strong. In fact, I'm probably physically stronger than most of the people in this audience. Yeah.
Number 3, Yes We Can by Barack Obama. This speech, delivered by President Obama in 2008, rallied Americans behind his campaign for the presidency with a message of hope and unity. It has since become a symbol of American progress and inclusivity.
I need you, Charlotte. I need you, North Carolina. I need you to knock on some doors. I need you to make some phone calls. I need you to talk to your neighbors. I need you to give me your vote on November 4th. And if you do, I promise you, we will not just win North Carolina, we will win this election, and we will change the country together.
Yes, we can! Yes, we can!
Number 2, The Man in the Arena by Theodore Roosevelt. This speech, delivered by the 26th President of the United States in 1910, encourages Americans to embrace perseverance and resilience in the face of challenges. It has become a popular motivational speech among athletes, entrepreneurs, and other high achievers. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Number 1. I Have a Dream by Martin Luther King, Jr. This iconic speech delivered by Dr. King during the 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom is widely regarded as one of the most important speeches in American history. It calls for an end to racial inequality and discrimination, and has served as a rallying cry for civil rights activists for decades.
In the island of poverty, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Well, kiddos, that's it for our lesson on the most famous speeches in American history. Did you like it? Did you learn something new? Don't be shy now. Speak up. And don't forget, if you have any burning questions or comments, write them down below. But make sure to keep them long and interesting, because this old man's eyes ain't what they used to be. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay motivated.